Hey, what's up? What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Rock Bottom Podcast with Ray DeVito. Quick shout out, sponsors, SilkCityHotSauce.com. Put in rock, save 15%. I got a hot sauce coming. It's coming. I saw the artwork, the official artwork. It's coming very soon. It's this weekend that my new special, A Life Without Balconies, will premiere on Sirius XM Raw Dog. They're going to play it 6 times in its entirety. And also, AerieJane.com, AerieJane.com for ex-husband deodorants and soaps. I wear Victory Pose. That's my favorite. Tell her you were sent here by me, and you'll get 15% and free shipping on your first order. All right, let's get it. Who's in the chat? I'm going to go. I got Karl from Who Are These Podcasts joining me today. We're going to get into a bunch of stuff, talk about Chris Rock's. I used to be part of Ray's Patreon. It was terrible. Well, thank you, Joe, for putting that one. I don't even know who Dislabeled is. I don't remember you, Dislabeled, but it's all good. Yeah, Patreon.com. Speaking of which, go to Patreon.com/Ray DeVito. Join. There's a $3 tier. Join for the $3 tier. Is Dislabeled Brian McCarthy? I thought that was Brian McCarthy. Ray gets the best guess. Thank you. All right, let me see who's all in this chat. So Dislabeled is here. Obviously, he's a giant fan. Isn't Dislabeled Brian McCarthy, though, Joe?
I do not know.
I thought that was. Which Brian McCarthy can't see. So how would he? Howdy fucker. Bad with 2 Ds. Ray knows people that know people. I know people that know people, sure. Stevie Lou and Carlos, what's going on? How are you guys? Yeah, I'm starting right at time. We have a hard out at 3:55, so I just want to see who's all in here. Giving you another chance after your debut. Well, thank you to Bear. Wow, why are you putting up all the shitty comments that are? Oh man, some negativity right off the bat. Yes, there will be no Stuttering John talk. So I don't know if that's allowed. A podcast with no Stuttering John talk. I do not know Stuttering John. Ray's a spicy boy. All right. All this dude does is cuck for Zuma. That's what I do. Is cuck for. Sure. Where are the action figures? I am not home. I'm in. And by the way, yeah, I have nothing to do with that Chad's stepdad mug. Did you do that on all the podcasts, or you just did this for this one, Joe?
No, it's a running thing. Anytime
it's a running thing.
Comes up, yeah.
Oh, all right. All right, well, I'm going to get into it. We're going to talk a lot about Chris Rock's special, if you guys saw that on Netflix. I know Karl said he saw the end of it. I loved it. I thought it was great. We'll get into a lot of the discussion that's going on. I have no action figure. You know what? I'm in New York City. I'm at Teamster Tim's place. I'm going to Astoria, to my place in Astoria tonight, but I'm in New Jersey for right now. I wanted to get this in. Thank you for. All right, let's get into it. Let's bring on Karl. I just want to see who's here. Talk to you guys. Hello, Uncle Reek in Miami and everything. All right. Welcome, Karl, from Who Are These Podcasts? Hey, what's up? See, you can make fun of me on your podcast. I am amateur hour.
You've already given me 4.5 minutes worth of material. Thank you for that. Holy shit.
Yeah. Go ahead, hammer me. I am. You are the professional.
Well, I know you were not supposed to talk about Stuttering John, but it looks like you learned how to podcast from Stuttering John.
Oh, Jesus. You know what? I will give you a Stuttering John story. This is my only Stuttering John story.
Please.
Is when I first moved to New York City, Buddy Flip was the manager at New York Comedy Club, and he's also a comic. And I worked with him in Youngstown, Ohio, at the Funny Farm. And he goes, "Hey, come to New York Comedy Club on this night. I'll get you a 10-minute spot. I can get you 10 minutes on this." I was like, "Oh, great!" It's a packed house at New York Comedy Club, and he goes, "All right, you're going up after High Pitched Eric, Stuttering John, and High Pitched Eric. They're doing 10 minutes, and then you're going up. You're going to close the show doing 10 minutes." I was like, all right, great. I look in the room and it's packed. It's packed. You can't really get in there. And a bunch of comics. I know Greg Rogel was on the show. I don't know if you know his name, but did the Tonight Show a bunch of times. Lori Kilmartin was on the show, like the house regulars. And then at the end, it's like me, the new guy, and then also like the novelty guys, High Pitched Eric and Stuttering John being two of them. And so like I'm just hanging out, like waiting for my turn. And then Greg O'Gell or Lori Kilmartin, whichever one, they're done. And then either High Pitched Eric or Stuttering John goes on to do their thing. And the room literally clears out. I have no idea what's going on stage. Now, in Stuttering John's defense, I think it was High Pitched Eric that cleared the room, because isn't he known for like going out of his way to make everything uncomfortable?
Well, yeah, he's a retard. See, the problem is that both High Pitch and Stuttering John are whack packers. And what people don't realize is that the reason why the whack pack is funny is because Howard makes them funny. They're not actually funny people. High Pitch, when Howard
I take it back. This wasn't High Pitch Eric. This is
okay.
Who's the other guy that was Benji?
Oh,
that's
Benji
why. That's
Bronk.
what it was. Benji. I take it back.
Boy.
So it was not High Pitched Eric.
That's
it was
bad. That's
yeah.
bad.
Well, isn't that like his thing that he goes out of his way to make everyone uncomfortable?
I don't know what his stand-up is. I mean, so Benji is a writer for the Stern Show. He's supposedly a comedy writer. I know he has some wacky antics that he likes to do, but I have no idea what his stand-up is about. I don't think he's successful at it, obviously.
No, whoever was up there, and again, I don't know if it was John or if it was Benji, but people were not just leaving, they were leaving and they were mad.
So here's
how
you tell this
something.
story. Here's how you tell this story in the future, Ray. You do some things like, you remember things a little bit differently, and you go, yeah, so everyone's crushing on stage. Every comic is getting rounds of applause.
Oh, they are. And then it just stopped. All the energy
Stuttering
just
John
died.
comes up, and everyone leaves, and then I had to go up to an empty room because of Stuttering John. See, that's fun. It's more direct that way.
By the time I got up there was only
even when you shit talk, Ray, you're such a sweetheart. You're such a nice guy. Even when you shit talk, you're like, now look it, John's set might have been great. I don't know. Maybe
no, it definitely wasn't great. Yeah, but people are leaving. Not just leaving, as in like, oh, this isn't funny. We're leaving, but they left like upset. Like
that's funny
it
too,
went from like everyone having fun to I'm having no fun. I just have to leave. I just have to leave.
It's not easy to leave a comedy club early because you have to settle up with the check and
right,
everything like that.
Exactly.
I walked out of a stand-up show not too long ago. I never do that. But this wasn't like a showcase show. It's not like I had to put up with someone for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Her entire set was 45 minutes, and my wife and I were like, okay, let's get the fuck out of here. But it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of usually have to stay around to the end to make sure you paid your check. So if you're walking that room, there's a lot of servers who are sprinting at people like, whoa, where are you going?
Yeah, it was. So something uncomfortable really happened. So I don't think it was a bad joke that cleared the room. It had to be something out of the way, uncomfortable that made people, and this is New York City. This isn't like, and then I did okay for the 8 people that were there. They were just happy I wasn't whoever was, whether it was Benji or John. They were just happy it wasn't. It could
have been John Smell that actually drove everybody out of there.
Have you ever met him, by the way?
No, I've never met him.
All right.
No. What was your impression when you met him?
Well, I didn't even get to talk to him. I was like in my own head. I just got to New York City. I'm doing like a real club. I know the names like Lori Kilmartin and Greg Rogel. Like those are all like, to me, it's like big names. I'm like, oh, I'm doing a show with these guys. Like I'm.
Let me ask you a question the way that Chad Zumach would ask it. Were you nervous meeting all your heroes? Huh, Ray? Does that make you nervous?
I was nervous because I'm like, yeah. I mean, this is like brand new to me. And then people liked me just because I wasn't whatever they just saw.
Right. They're like, hey, it's somebody else.
Yeah.
I have T-shirts in the back that say somebody else if you want to buy one.
That's exactly what it was. Like it's not that they liked me. It was just, that stopped. Yeah. It's like someone just punching a kitten and like, all right, they quit punching. This guy's not going to punch the kitten, so we're gonna be all right.
Stuttering John stand-up is like watching somebody punch a kitten. I think it's a pretty good description, actually. It's like, no, tell him to stop. Won't somebody please tell him to stop?
Yeah. Yeah, he smashes kittens. Gallagher just smashed watermelons, but
Yeah, right.
he was smashing kittens, and it was uncomfortable. But it was like, yeah, it was just insane that whatever the hell happened. So, but yeah, it turns out it wasn't that big of a deal for me to do the spot at the end of the night. But in my head, I'm like, oh, this is a big opportunity. Turns out nobody cared.
Right.
But I was friends with the manager, Buddy, and then he would give me late night spots, and that's how you start out, like in New York City, is a man like that's everyone like Boston Comedy Club was known for that. You'd do late night. Patrice O'Neill would make fun of you, and people would get mad at Patrice O'Neill for making fun of them, which he made fun of me.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind because it means
That's an honor. Yeah, that's an honor right there.
it's like he would talk about how unfunny I was. He'd say it at everybody. It wasn't just me. And he's right.
Sure.
I wasn't as funny as him. So I was like, what do you want me to say? He's like, you're making me give up stage time for this motherfucker? And it's like, he's got a point. He does have a point. He is. But just the fact that he would notice me, I think that's a bigger deal than if he didn't notice me at all.
Comedy is not for sensitive people, right? You can't
No,
be a
it's
highly
not.
sensitive person and be in stand-up. You gotta.
No.
Are you? Have you over this now? Are you comfortable meeting people that you knew before and were a fan of? And
Oh yeah. Okay. No. Now I'm like fine. Like no. Tomorrow I host a show. Joe List, Janine Garofalo. I'll text Gaffigan. He might drop in. Like it's yeah. No, it's fine now. Now it's like I do have my one. I was going to meet Brennan to do a podcast at the Cellar like a few months back, and TJ Miller, who I know pretty decently or whatever, and I saw him like walking down the street by the Cellar, like doing like a Instagram live video or something. And I'm on my bike. I'm riding my bike to the Cellar. This is in the afternoon, and I go, TJ, hey, what's going on, man? Thinking he like recognized me, and he goes,
right.
Thanks for the support, man. Thanks. I appreciate all my fans. It's like,
You're just a fan. Yeah.
and then I wanted to stop. If I wasn't a her, I was like, dude, it's fucking me, you idiot. Like,
Hey,
I appreciate all the fans.
I just want to make sure you're talking about Joe List and Janine Garofalo and everyone. I hope you can hear this.
Drop.
Just want to make sure we're covering all the name dropping that's happening.
No, go ahead.
on
No,
the show.
go ahead.
So,
Drop
all
the
right.
names. Come tomorrow night, 7:00. I'm in charge of the show. So buy your tickets. Go to the Stand Comedy Club website. Yeah, 7:00 show.
Speaking
Yeah.
of,
I am
speaking
name
of
dropping
lists.
right there. Come.
Yes. Speaking of Joe List, I'm going to go see Mark Norman. He's in Rochester this weekend. I'm going to go see him this weekend. And we tried to get him on WATP because sometimes, like when Florentine was in town, Chrissy Mayer, Jim Norton, we've gotten them over to the house, into the basement, record the podcast with us. And so anyway, I have a friend of a friend who knows Mark pretty well. So we talked to him, and I don't know that he would do well on Who Are These Podcasts. He kind of reminds me of someone like you who's a little bit too nice, doesn't really want to talk people.
He did my podcast. There's a video of him doing my podcast. If you
he's
want
great on podcasts. I'm
Yeah.
just saying the way that our show works is we all sit down and listen to something and then shit on these people pretty brutally. So I don't know that Mark would be good for that. Maybe he would be. I don't know.
if
Someday
you want,
I'll get him on.
if you want, I could text him. Look, I don't mind. I don't mind texting him. No,
Yeah,
I'm-
that's all right. I'm not looking for favors or anything. I was just letting you know. You know, I'm going to see him this weekend. His stand up is fantastic. I always love seeing him.
No, he's a
when
cool
he comes
dude.
to town.
I think more so to be like, does he have time to do it? But, yeah, he does something great that I think more comics should do when you get to his level. Like after his shows, he'll do like just have the audience ask him questions, and he'll use that as like content and stuff, and then he'll get jokes out of it too. So.
Yeah, he's very quick. He's very quick on his feet. I always loved him when he was on Opie and Anthony back in the day. I got to ask you this though, because like you just said, like one of the reasons why he said he can't make it up for the podcast, he's doing other podcasts while he's in Rochester for the weekend. Do you get the sense that there's a lot of comedians who are overexposed now with podcasting?
You know what? And it's Norman and Liz that say this to me. It's like no, just keep doing content. Just keep putting content out there. Like that's the second you stop putting content. I think
it kind of takes out the mystique of like seeing these people. It's kind of like how the whole idea of celebrity and watching the red carpet and these award shows, no one gives a shit anymore because these fucking idiots are on TikTok and Instagram all day long every day. They're doing podcasts, they're streaming everywhere. So it kind of like takes out that, I don't know, you're like, wow, this is exciting. But then you see people too much and it's it's not as cool anymore. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I'm just going off what they said. Like, no, just keep putting stuff out there. Just keep, and like my special when it comes out, I'm already like got a bunch of stuff. Joe's gonna help me with it. Joe, the producer, and just put out a bunch of clips to like just get things out there.
Oh yeah, no, promoting your show and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. If you're going to go on a promotional tour, yes, you got something to promote. You want people to check out your comedy, like that's great. But it just seems like a lot of these guys host 3 shows, and then they go on all their friends' shows all the time. So at the end of the week, they've done 12 podcasts, and I don't know. It's how funny can you be? How many ideas and yeah, exactly.
Talking about Bob Levy.
Yeah, that's a good example. But yeah, it just seems like, unless you have, unless it's not just always interview shows or just shooting the shit shows, if there's an actual format to it that people can get into. Otherwise, I think that there's a lot of guys who are overexposed, but I could be wrong.
Speaking of, did Karl watch the BS show?
I popped it on for a second. I was prepping for the creep off this morning, so I don't really have time to watch shows Monday mornings. I did see that Chad was on there, and I said I'm going to sit here until he says something funny, and then I lost patience and had to go.
All right. What I will say real quick about Chad, just because he texted me after I did your podcast.
I'm sure he was very excited about it, right? Like, good job, buddy. We're rooting for you.
No. He said that I heard that you bombed. I heard that people hated you or whatever, which the only negative feedback I saw are people were mad at me because I did not shit on Chad.
Right.
That's all I did. So what do you want, Chad?
He's complaining about it. He's just like, yeah, I heard people said that you didn't shit on me enough. Like, oh, yeah, sorry. I was trying to be your friend. My bad.
Yeah, like that. Chad's the type of dude that, like, you could give him CPR to save his life. It's like, what are you, gay? Why do you put your mouth on another dude? It's like, I just saved your life, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like, you're not dead because of me. It's like, what do you think I'm gay? I want your mouth on me?
But also,
what are you doing?
What's Chad trying? Let's ask this. Let's do some psychoanalysis here. What is psycho being the key term? What is Chad trying to accomplish with that text you? So he didn't watch your appearance. He didn't listen to it. He doesn't know anything. It'd be one thing if he was like giving you pointers or telling you what you did wrong or whatever. He just wanted to let you know that I stunk. From other people that you stunk. That was the only point of that.
Yeah, so just let me know that I stunk.
What is he trying to accomplish with that?
I don't know. Hey, we got a super chat. I always forget to mention the super chats, but if you guys want a super chat, I'll read them. You can't give Chad CPR. Lip lock is impossible. That's a fun.
Well done.
Yeah, you don't have to do that laugh thing. I'm fine without the laugh track. If it's
sorry about that.
Was that your laugh track?
Yeah, that's me. I'm hitting my soundboard over here.
I thought that was Joe. No, that was
Joe's
doing that.
Joe's not ruining your show. I am. Joe doesn't do that.
Now he's going to text you. I heard you did the race podcast and you stunk.
Yeah,
loser.
I know.
What are you, dork?
You got to go everywhere with your soundboard. Is that your thing? You have to have a soundboard with you.
Yeah.
No, seriously though, what do you think he's trying to accomplish with that? Like, what's the point of him doing that?
I don't know.
What in his mind is he accomplishing?
Then he told me to go find my own friends. Like, I'm not allowed to do podcasts on the same internet he's like. You're not in charge of me. Friends.
He told you to go find your own friends.
Yeah.
Okay, that's funny. I'll give him that one.
It's like, what, dude?
He's a
go
child.
find your own. Yeah. It's no, he's great. Like I said, he's a good guy. It's the bipolarness. Some days he's nice, some days he's friendly, and other days it's the other. You never know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get. So,
let me know one of those days that he's nice and friendly. I'd love to see that.
Like I said, for years we were always. It would be fine. I don't mind hanging out with him. Now people give him shit about being an alcoholic. I've seen him drink. I've never seen him wait. Put it this way. He crashed at my sister's place once because he was too wasted. I was like, dude, just crash here for the night. So yeah. So I mean, I've looked out for the guy.
I have to point this out, Ray, because I pride myself on being a good listener. You started that story by saying, I've never seen Chad get really wasted. And then there was that time he had to crash at my sister's place because he was
which
so
is fun.
wasted.
Yeah. But I've always been a fucking friend of that idiot. So the fact that he ever shits on me, it's like, dude, what do you?
I don't care about people's personal lives. That's a weird thing to get into anyway.
Yeah. But But yeah, that's the only time. But anyways, all right, let's talk about other shit.
So
Chris
hold
Rex-
on, no, I want to ask you this. We don't have to talk about Chad the whole time by any means. I don't want to. But you haven't done MLC since coming on Who Are These Podcasts, correct?
Yeah, I have not. No,
You have not. So you plan on getting invited back again soon? Hopefully.
if Kevin asked me to do it,
Oh, so you're not sure. So you might be on the outs with those guys. I hope I didn't fuck you up.
no, because Kevin and I were texting back and forth about something this weekend. So, yeah, so I don't. Although I did give Kevin some shit, I'm mad at him because he had Lenny Dykstra on the podcast and didn't have me on there with Lenny Dykstra.
Are you a Nails fan?
I don't know if you know, like I have a baseball card collection and everything. I could have all day had baseball, but then from what I heard, Lenny Dykstra just kind of like dominated the conversation.
Yeah, I guess Kevin Brennan didn't want you on there talking about all of his stat lines.
Yeah.
25 minutes. He might have made the right decision on that one.
Yeah.
You just got Ray DeVito going, remember in Game 3 in the 86 World Series when the runners were on the corners and you came up with 2 outs? Like, all right, enough on
Yeah. But that was.
And by the way, Lenny doesn't remember that.
No. Lenny Dykstra was supposed to do my podcast because we're friends on Twitter and we were talking back and forth, and then he didn't show up. So he didn't show up for my podcast, which is fine. It's Lenny Dykstra. I didn't.
I should have pulled a Lenny Dykstra today.
Yeah. Lenny Dykstra. I got to listen to the episode that Lenny Dykstra was on because I didn't get to hear it. But then also MC Search from Third Base was supposed to do my podcast and stood me up at the. Although I hit him up the night before to reconfirm and didn't hear back, so I wasn't surprised that he stood me up. But Lenny Dykstra stood me up and MC Search. Those are the two.
Ray, stop putting this stuff out into the universe. You're telling people that people stand you up and don't come on your show. Like, you got to bury that stuff. You know?
See, I'm
say positive things. Every celebrity comes on my show. It's amazing. You got to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I did like Third Base back in the day. Do you remember Third Base? The gas
I do remember
face
Third
and
Base,
yeah. They would always. Everyone was selling out. All their songs were about all the rappers. It was like, you guys just have one album,
Right?
And all their stuff was calling out. They hated MC Hammer.
We had a thing happen in my city last night in Rochester. There was a concert at the Main Street Armory, and there was a 33-year-old woman killed and 2 others hospitalized with serious injuries. And I got to look this up real quick because I had never heard of this rapper, and I got to wonder if Anthony Cumia knows about this because I think he would have a field day with it. So it's a female rapper. Sorry, I'm looking it up right now as we talk. And
I like Lizzo.
Her name is Glorilla.
Glorilla?
You ever heard of Glorilla?
No.
That's not a good name.
No. No, there's a nightclub where I live in Astoria that Ja Rule always goes to. And like it gets drop. Yep. No, I don't know Ja Rule. Okay. Oh, Ja Rule is Ja Rule the one that started doing comedy, or is that T.I.? No, Ja Rule I don't think. Yeah. But no, Ja Rule like hangs out there, and it's always like it's just loud as shit till like 4 a.m. It's not because of Ja Rule. I'm saying there's other like it's a
nightclub. I think
it's a nightclub where you don't know what's going on in there until 5. That's the other thing about New York City. Things don't end. Like there's no like you could be at the bar with your buddies, and next thing you know, you look at your phone and it's 4:30 in the morning, and you're like, shit, nobody kicked us out.
You need a calendar to figure out what time it is.
Yeah, it's like it's 4:30. It's really 4:30. It's like because in Middle America you get used to like 1:30 last call, blah blah blah. All right, things I wanted to get into. Well, let's talk about. Well, we'll go to this first then. The gun thing with people getting shot. Ray, I will book you next week on MLC. Stop being.
Hey, Bob. Good to see you, buddy.
Thank you. I like how usually also every time I do MLC, I'm not actually booked. It's more like Kevin just texting me like, hey, you around? You want to jump on in 20 minutes? So like, so a lot of it's like that. I'm not.
That's not surprising. He doesn't seem like he's buttoned up on that show. It doesn't seem like a well-organized.
No. Oh, but podcast. Yeah, Bob, I want to do it next week because my album will be out. My album, which, A Life Without Balconies, which Bob Levy and Kevin Brennan were there at the recording. They were there for the. All right.
So listen for the booing when you listen to his live album.
Ouch,
You can
man,
hear Bob
ouch.
Levy.
Ray, for the record, I don't think that's actually Bob.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
What was I going to say? Oh, so speaking of, John Morant, NBA superstar, is suspended indefinitely because I sent you the video. If you want to show Instagram live video of him at a nightclub with a gun. Speaking of guns shooting, was this in Rochester with John Morant?
No, this one wasn't.
Since he's not playing basketball right now.
Will join us in just a
You
moment.
might want to turn the volume off. We don't need the volume. Yeah, to the I gave you the timestamp there. It's on the timestamp. It's like a 10-second mark or whatever. There's a timestamp above it, Joe, where it's just showing the video. Anyways, we don't even need to see the video. But he was in an Instagram live video and with a gun at a nightclub. He's suspended indefinitely, which sucks for him because Kyrie Irving just got dropped by Nike. He's their number one guy at Nike. Like he was like set to make $1 zillion. And I don't know what Nike's going to do with him after.
Was he recording a
after
music
this.
video or something? Is that what this was?
No, he was just dancing. Joe, you don't have to do it. It's already.
We missed the opportunity.
Yeah.
I want to see it, Joe. I want to see this
go ahead and
video.
see it. Just put up the time. I gave you the timestamp. The timestamps for everything is there, Joe.
Yeah, the timestamp says 110 to 112.
Okay, then that's
All
when
right.
it would be.
Let's do it. Sorry.
All right, whenever you want there, Joe. Whenever you,
I'm not producing
whatever
the
you
show.
do there, Joe.
I apologize.
Whatever you.
No, I do want to see this. I heard about it.
I think you may have timestamped the wrong time.
Okay. You know what? I will look at. See what I sent you.
Oh, I love these written statements they put out. There's no fucking way he had anything to do with writing this. This is not the way he talks. This is not the way he communicates. I was like, what's even the point of the PR professional putting out I take full responsibility for my actions last night. I'm sorry to my family, my teammates, coaches. Like, shut the fuck up. You just made me get caught.
It's also like why he did that. Well, like why did he?
I thought they were shooting a music video. I that's what I heard, but I could be wrong about that.
I have no idea because I just saw the. I just saw the video. Now Joe's got me wanting to see.
I have a Paul Pierce Instagram live video.
Yeah, that's we're gonna go to that, but I just want to. Yeah, you're right. I do have 110 to 112. That's when it should be, but.
This is
Yeah, go to Paul.
Trying to throw me under the bus.
Yeah,
I know. Poor Joe.
Yeah, I did do that. All right, go to the Paul Pierce. This is what I want to say. This is how you do it. I know you know who Paul Pierce is, NBA legend,
Yeah.
Hall of Famer.
Of course.
He got fired from ESPN because he Instagram lived a party with him and a bunch of strippers.
Yep. I remember that.
You can leave
years
the
ago.
volume off on this, but you can go ahead and show and use that timestamp I gave you. Paul Pierce's. This is how you get fired from a job. This is how you do it right here. This is and ESPN's owned by Disney, so they had to like dump him. It's just him and a bunch of strippers, and him just yelling, "Where you at, Monica? Where you at?" This is him as an ESPN employee that's working for Disney the next day. But that's how you lose your job. But he's not playing anymore, so he can afford that. Who gives a shit? But that's how you go out. You go out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, that's a fun way to get fired right there. Why'd you lose that amazing job you had? Well, I was fucking strippers. Like, oh, okay. Well, it makes sense.
And then, but he rebounded just fine because now he's got that show on Showtime with him and Kevin Garnett. And it's like, you could say whatever you want. Like, all he did is gain street cred by his Instagram live video.
Wait a second. Did you just say that he rebounded?
Yeah, he rebounded. It's a basketball term. I know.
Home run, call me a home run.
Well done, sir.
Yeah. Dude, first of all, I love NBA drama. NBA drama is great. It's
Nobody likes NBA basketball. Everyone likes the
I
drama.
love
They like
love
the contracts. They want to hear about the shit off the court. They want to hear about the player who has 12 kids with 13 women. That's the stuff that's interesting. nobody actually watches the NBA until it gets to the playoffs.
Oh, the NBA playoffs is awesome. Yeah, you
That's
are
when
right.
people
The
watch.
regular season. Well, as a Cavaliers fan, I do watch the regular season because we're actually good this year. So it is fun to watch. Like, I will admit, when we had LeBron and Kyrie and Kevin Love, I still watch the regular season because we just dominate. But at the same time, you knew nothing mattered until the playoffs. Like, when they would lose a game in the regular season, you're like, who cares? We got LeBron. We're still going to the finals.
Right.
Like, I think a couple of years, I don't even know if we were ever even the number one seed in the East. We just went to the playoffs and then beat Boston and Toronto. Like, whoever was the number one seed, like, they might take out Cleveland. And you're like, as a Cavs, I'm like, I'm not really worried. We just got to worry about the Warriors. And the Warriors always, like, kind of had our number because they had, like, 5 great players and we only had 3.
Wait, was that when you guys met the Warriors, 3 years in a row or 4 years in a row in the finals?
We
was that a
met them
different team
4
I'm
straight
thinking of?
years.
Yeah, 4 straight years.
Yeah.
And the only year that the Cavaliers won was because of some really poor officiating, where there were suspensions given out to key players. Am I right about this? Am I remembering this correctly?
Yeah.
Probably not from your perspective.
Well, Draymond Green got, well, the first year that we went, Kyrie and Kevin Love both got hurt. So, like, we were kind of fucked that year. And then the next year's the year that we did win. And then the next year is when they went out and got Kevin Durant. And then it was like, all right, this is too unfair. It's like, come on, dude.
That was
all
out
right.
of control, yeah.
It's like, this is not. And then Kyrie wanted out. He's a weirdo. And then we went to the finals, and we should have won game 1. That's when J.R. Smith got the rebound. All he had to do is go right back up for the game-winning layup. He had a basket, and instead he took the ball and he dribbled out. And LeBron's like, what are you doing? And the fact that we didn't win that first game, LeBron just gave up. He's like, all right, if we couldn't win that game, a game that we had won, and we lost that one.
Is there a worse person to be the all-time leading scorer of the NBA than LeBron James? I can't think of a less.
You really
likable
think he's a
character.
worse?
Dude,
Hey,
you
and by the way-
hated him when he went to Miami.
Oh, I still do. I do.
Everyone in Cleveland wanted to murder that guy. Don't even tell me.
Yeah, I think it's our group of like friends, our circle, like Chad's. I think Chad and that circle of friends, like our buddy Hot Karl and them. They were there with the burning of the LeBron jersey that was on the news.
Yep.
I say to my act, it's on my special, but I go, here's the deal. I love LeBron. He's going to get a statue downtown, but I can't root for him to win if it's in another uniform. I can't. I just can't. It's like rooting for your ex-girlfriend to fuck better-looking dudes. That's what it is. Like, I know she's doing it. I just don't want to watch it on SportsCenter every night. Like, he's in another uniform. I hope he loses. But
Yeah, it's like, look, I'll go to the parade after she fucks a hot guy, but I don't want to actually watch her fucking the hot guy.
yeah,
I'll
I'm not
support
going to
the
the. I'm not going to the parade. I don't want him to win. If he's on another team, I hope he loses. Hope he loses miserably. But I do appreciate the time that he spent with us, if that makes sense. But the fact that he kept leaving and then he would like hold the team as hostage the whole time he was here.
Yeah, that's
I could
super
do with that.
shitty.
Yeah.
And also, I hate that he's constantly trying to lecture everyone, and he just talks a little bit too much. He pretends he reads books, which is annoying. Have you seen this thing where he's always got a different book when people, like, you find him sitting around and it's always on page 1. He's never actually read a book, but he likes to have books in front of him for some reason. Are you not familiar
really?
with this?
No, I know he does the I promise thing. I make jokes about that, like how I want to go to college in Northeast Ohio, LeBron. Like, I'll get a fake birth certificate. I'll be a Dominican baseball player. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, yeah, I am 18 and my name is Bartolo Colon. Let's do this. I want to go to college, LeBron. But
Hey, Ray, by the way, I just got a text from Bob that says, it's me in the chat. So that is actually Bob.
oh, okay. Hello, Levy. Good to see you, buddy. So yeah, that's my whole like LeBron. But he's done anyway. Like, he's too old. I don't think he's ever going to win again. Now, because he's like old, I wouldn't be too mad if he did win again. But I don't think he's going to win again.
Oh, he's never going to win again because, and you know how I know that? He's going to force whatever team he's on, the Lakers or whoever, to draft his son. And his son's not very good at basketball because he really wants to play in the league with his son. And
Yeah.
that's going to suck. His son's going to put up horrible numbers. It's going to be embarrassing.
Well, here's the thing too. Like to be like, remember when Kevin Garnett came in the league right out of high school? It took him 5 years to get his shit together to be good. Like he's still a teenager. He's an 18-year-old kid. He hasn't developed into a man yet. So LeBron was like the only dude to go right from high school.
Kobe did it.
He wasn't like an all-star right away. It took Kobe a few years
wasn't?
to get it together.
All right. I have to check the stats.
He might have Terry Nees in here. LeBron and Bob Levy are in a book club. Yeah, who reads better, Bob Levy or LeBron?
That's funny.
It would be. But I do want to.
On dope?
I do want to get you people in the chat. What's your opinion about Chris Rock's special? I thought it was great. I thought it was great. I want to talk about this while this is still going on, but I always say this about Chris Rock. He's always got some quotable jokes. I'm going to say his quotable joke to take away from last night when I watched the special was, I like his Elon Musk joke, where it's like, he's like, yeah, that's what billionaires look like. That's what you look that weird when you have someone's getting blowjobs nonstop, sucking the semen out of you when there's no more semen left in your body from continuous blowjobs. That's I'm butchering his joke, but I liked that's how billionaires look. And I loved everything he did with the Will Smith. I thought his Kardashian take was also great. About how no one's helped black people more than the Kardashians. And he did a whole thing about how the dad got OJ off of murder. He's like, all they do is help out black people. They have sex with the ugliest black people. They get us off for murder. No one has done more for black people than the Kardashian family. I thought that was great. But I did like the whole, you didn't see it, but you saw the Will Smith stuff?
So what happened is Eric Zane, who did my show this past weekend, texted me on Sunday and said, Karl, you have to watch the last 10 minutes of Chris Rock's special. So before I went out with my wife yesterday, we popped it on. So I haven't had a chance to watch the whole thing, but holy shit, was the last 10 minutes of that special amazing. I think that the way he waited a year to get his revenge on Will Smith and Jada, and the way that he pulled it off.
And he did it in her hometown of Baltimore. He did that in his hometown of Baltimore.
I don't know how Will
That's her
Smith ever
hometown.
recovers. I don't know how he ever recovers from that.
He smacked the wrong dude.
Yeah, he sure did. He smacked a funny guy with a microphone. Yeah.
No, I mean, if you're gonna smack a comedian, smack Larry the Cable Guy or someone that's that's not gonna be that brilliant to come back with, you know.
Yeah.
But you slapped the funniest dude.
Well, the best part about that, for people who haven't seen it, I hope I'm not giving too much away, but he found a way to call Will Smith a bitch without calling Will Smith a bitch.
Yeah.
And he did it about 30 times, which was fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah. And then shitting on Jada Pinkett, the whole thing, that red table. She's got a show. It was like, and everything he said is stuff that they put out there. Like it's like, yeah, a lot of people get cheated on, but then, but not a lot of people put you on blast. Like, all right, I'm your wife. I sucked another man's dick. How does that make you feel?
Worse than that, though, it was their son's friend.
Yeah,
it's a guy he invites into his house all the time. It had sleepovers when they were teenagers, and then he's begging his wife. Like, that's brutal right there. And then he's got to go on TV and be a cuck in front of the entire world. And it finally built up to a place. He's like, I'm going to take all this out on Chris Rock. Bad move.
Karl does Kegels before every podcast.
That's my secret.
There you go. Joe, show me what I gave you. I didn't even know this about, like, Jada Pinkett Smith, filming Will Smith without asking him to get him to promote Red Table Talk with the therapist that said it's okay for them to have open relationships. I have it cut where it's her filming Will Smith without his permission. They're like in their house, and he's like, "Get the phone out of my face." So, I think this special just pulls a curtain back, because I didn't know how out of her mind Jada Pinkett Smith is.
Yeah, my wife didn't know either. When he brought up that story, my wife was like, "Oh, I didn't know about that." I'm like, "Oh, you didn't? Yeah, this is big news. This is why he's so pissed."
You can leave the volume on this too. This is. Where's the volume?
Not redefining our relationship.
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me
Oh my goodness.
if you could film me.
Astaire, come help us again, please. I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Because she don't just.
Would you say that she helped us heal the hurts that we caused between one another?
My social media presence is my bread and butter. Okay, so you can't just use me for social media and not, don't just start. I'm standing in my house.
This is going great.
Please watch Astaire at the red table because she's helped us a lot. Can't you tell?
Oh,
All right, you can get rid of it.
we're gonna watch the clip of this Astaire.
That was on Jada Pinkett Smith's Twitter from like 2 years ago. Hey, Chris, thanks, buddy. Karl is so humble. He puts his hamburger pants on one club foot at a time, a.k.a. Burger Goblin. All right. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, Skinny Chad Zumak. He won the Dabble battle that we had at DabbleCon.
Oh, did he? What did he do to win it?
Yeah, everyone had to come up and do a Stuttering John impression, and Skinny Chad Zumak had the best impression. He won all
I
the
thought my
prizes.
impression at the beginning of this podcast was.
You would have been a contender for sure.
But dude, how insane is that? That was like a tweet from like 2 years ago that's still up on her Twitter to promote the Red Table Talk she was having with the lady that she says saved their marriage. Obviously, the marriage isn't going great. She's filming him without his permission.
The fact that he's looking into her phone and going, "Do not film me right now. You do not have my permission," and she does not stop. Dude, Will Smith is a cuck. A lot of people use the word cuck. Kevin Brennan doesn't know what cuck means. That's what a cuck is right there. That is specifically what a cuck does.
And that's a video she put up. Imagine all the videos she shot of him where he was like yelled at her or something to like get it away. Like that was a video that she like put up. That's on her social media, her Twitter.
Also, this is something that probably doesn't matter, but I have to point it out. Jada's, her alopecia or whatever it is, she can't grow hair that she claims is a lie. It's bullshit because you can see the stubble coming in and it's everywhere, all around her head. So this whole thing where she was upset with Chris Rock for making a G.I. Jane joke. She's like, well, I have an ailment. It's like, no, she doesn't have a fucking ailment. She can grow hair.
Chris
She can
Rock
put a fucking wig on if she wants to.
Chris Rock pointed that out in the special. I say last night because I watched it last night. But he pointed out in the special what she was really mad at him about is Will wasn't nominated for an Oscar one year for a movie. I guess the movie was called.
Movie no one can remember, including Chris Rock.
Yeah. It's like the only joke like he butchered. That's why you don't do live special taping. It's the only joke he butchered. I think the movie was called Concussion, and it's like, and so he didn't get nominated, so he gave me a concussion. But she was mad that Chris Rock was hosting the Oscar. Like, how can you host it when they didn't even nominate Will? And he's like.
Right.
He's like, bitch, I got to go make my money. I had nothing to do.
Also, the movie wasn't good. That was the whole point I think Chris Rock was trying to make. He's like,
but how insane is? But how insane is that? How is that?
He's an asshole.
How is that Chris Rock's business? It's kind of like Chad told me, like, listen, I talked to this guy. Can you not talk to like what?
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You don't get to control me like that. What the fuck?
Can you not perform at the club in Rochester because the guy that owns a club in Rochester doesn't like me? Is that? It's like. What does that have to do with me?
Yeah.
That is.
Fight your own battles there, Jada.
Yeah, so like that's insane that's like all. Dude, what do you think happens with the Will Smith and Jada? I mean, dude, he smacked the wrong comic.
He did. Yeah.
He smacked the wrong person. He don't smack a comedian. And I think Chris Rock, I think he's the GOAT. I think he's the best.
He's up there for sure. Yeah. Now, I'm wondering though, like, does Will Smith ever get the huge roles ever again? Because his Q rating has to be through the floor. Like, anyone you talk to about Will Smith doesn't like him now because of that. Because everyone likes Chris Rock. Everyone thinks Chris Rock is hilarious. And
no,
Will
not
Smith
everyone. Look at Twitter. Some people on Twitter are going, which also, that was another great joke that he had. What do you say about woke culture? It's all people doing their woke tweets on cell phones made by slave children.
Yeah, right.
It's like,
yeah, there's this 800-pound asshole from USA Today who gave it very negative reviews. This Gen Z white woman who can't stop feeding her fucking face, trying to say that Chris Rock's comedy wasn't very good. It's like, where the fuck?
Yeah.
You're gonna judge comedy? Please don't.
Right.
We got this. Thanks.
Also, if you don't, then don't go watch it. Let's say I don't like let's say I don't like. I'm going to show my age. Let's say I don't like the band Soundgarden.
Okay.
Then I don't go to a Soundgarden concert.
Hey, good news. The singer killed himself. So you're
yeah,
fine.
yeah, I know. I'm just.
I don't like Soundgarden either. So
As Steve, no, I'm fine with Soundgarden or Pearl Jam. Let's say I don't like Pearl Jam,
Okay,
who I
yeah.
have seen in concert, and I do like Pearl Jam. Let's say I don't like Pearl Jam, then don't go to the concert. I'm not gonna get online and start tweeting like you're all a bunch of pieces of shit for going to see Pearl Jam. Who gives a shit?
right.
Who gives a shit?
I was surprised because I haven't seen the whole special yet, but I've heard good things from people that I trust, and I loved the last 10 minutes. I was surprised that he was getting some negative reviews, but I guess it's because he was going after these very people who want there to be the safe spaces and the wokeness of the world.
It's like, if you don't like it, then don't watch it. It's not for you then. You know?
Right.
Let's say I don't like disco. I'm not going to be like, everyone should hate disco. I don't even know. That's how old I am. Is disco still a music genre?
See, when you said
K-pop.
show my age, when you said Soundgarden, I was like, okay, that's fine. I grew up with Soundgarden. And then disco, like, what the fuck?
I don't know. Yeah, I know, Terry Nee. Jesus, I know. Karl's going to end up in the podcasting hall. I am what they call a dabbler. I am a dabbler. But that's all I'm saying. It's just like insane. You don't like something, just don't go see it. To tell other people to not enjoy it, I can't believe he made fun of black women. What?
Well,
he made
the
fun
USA
of everyone.
Today, the USA Today woman, that's her job, is to critique entertainment, whatever. Like, that's what her beat is. But to just say that it wasn't funny and he's yelling at the clouds is insane. Chris Rock crafts jokes. He is next level as a comic. I think any comic would agree with that. Right? In order to get to that level, like, that is unbelievable. He's been crafting this for decades, and he's that good that he can
Bring
do
the
that.
Pain. To me, greatest special of all time. Bring the Pain. Chris Rock's Bring the Pain.
It could be.
Yeah,
It's
Bigger
power.
and Blacker is also great. This one is probably his third best. I go Bring the Pain, Bigger and Blacker, and then this I'll say is number 3 for him.
Yeah, I didn't like that one special he did where he shot it in multiple locations, and he kept changing his outfit and the background. Which one was that? I think it was after Bigger and Blacker.
Yeah, I know
weird.
I know. I don't even know the name of it, but I know.
Right.
I know that one, but yeah, you're gonna have, not all the albums are gonna hit.
Dude, there was a very long time when stand-up comedians would get an hour to an hour and a half of material and then live the rest of their lives off of that. The fact that guys like Chris Rock and, George Carlin, obviously, but there's the fact that Louis C.K. can put together multiple hour-long specials and still be funny is insane. So, yeah, Chris Rock's going to have an off special. They're not going to all be the most amazing things you've ever seen. But if you can make 2 or 3 that are that good, that's fucking impressive.
He did have a bit in there about his. Some people are saying the super chat is blocked, but it looks like it's working for some people. Spoiler alerts. We've all seen the special. Yeah, no, it's worth seeing. Go see it.
I haven't seen it. All right.
Yeah, it's fantastic. What the hell was I gonna say? I forget my dumb train of thought now. But Bigger and Blacker, Bring the Pain, probably my 2 favorite. This one would be number 3. Yeah, the 4th one, off the top of my head, I don't remember what it's called. And I forget what the hell I was going to say. But
guys, keep the super chats coming because it's fucking up Ray and his flow. And it's fun to watch. So keep distracting him with super chats.
I am very distracted. I'm like trying to look at like 3 different things. That's why the beginning, Joe, you're putting up all those things. I was trying to interact with the chat, and then I was like, all right.
All right, I have some advice for you, Ray. This is something you're only going to hear from me. Your buddy Chad's not going to tell you this. Get a mic stand. It will give you one more hand free. It'll give you a little bit more to not have to concentrate on so you can focus more on the show.
All right. I've been told that before to get a mic stand. I will get a mic stand. Yeah, it's not blocked. It's credit cards that are declined. Oh. Is that another credit card joke? You know where that's going to go. Come on. Leave the credit cards alone.
It's not funny anymore. It was funny for like a year, and now it's not.
How did you get into the whole podcasting thing? Tell me your history. Was it all because of John?
No, not at all. My buddy Kevin, who used to do stand-up, we were in a band together, and then he moved across the country to Seattle, and we were keeping in touch because he was recording stuff for my band. But every time we'd get together and record stuff over Skype or whatever, we would just have this banter and back and forth, and we were writing jokes, which is what we were doing for the band. So the whole thing was just trying to make each other laugh and come up with jokes. And then he was interested in starting a podcast. I'm like, oh, I would do that with you. That's fine. And we were both huge fans of Opie and Anthony and Jocktober. So I came up with the idea of let's make fun of people's podcasts the way they used to goof on radio shows on Opie and Anthony. So, he agreed. That sounds great. So we put together Who Are These Podcasts? He was actually running the show. I was just sending him clips, and he was recording everything on his end and really producing everything. And then 59 episodes in, I get a text from him saying, yeah, Karl, I'm kind of done with this. I don't really want to do this anymore. And, at that time, we had a couple hundred listeners to each episode. Nothing was really happening. We weren't making money. It was just a hobby that we had. And I was bummed at first. I was like, fuck, really? Because he's not a mean asshole like me, so he kind of felt bad about some of the things we were saying about people's podcasts and getting feedback from people. So he just decided to bow out. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep it going. So send me the login info to Libsyn and let me know how to record this and how to do all this shit. So he kind of taught me how to do it. And I just started inviting other friends of mine to come on the show. And I just had a rotating cast. And I was trying to find like a new co-host that would take over for Kevin. But then it turned out I enjoyed better having a different person in every week and doing it that way. So, but even then I went another year without really getting any traction or having a lot of listeners. It wasn't until Opie finally put out a podcast, Opie Radio podcast, that we made fun of that caught a lot of people's attention, and then things started to take off from there.
Collectible toy before a mic stand. All right, he's making fun of my toy. Yes, I'm going to get a mic stand. I'm going to do it, and I will be in New York City, so I can go to, I guess I don't even have to go to B&H to do that. I guess I can get a mic stand anywhere. I actually have a mic stand. What am I talking about?
Ray, we have a hard out in 3.5 minutes.
Oh, we got a hard out in 3.5 minutes? Okay. I was going to say this. This is what I was going to say. Chris Rock does a joke before he gets into the Jada Pinkett Smith stuff about his daughter getting kicked out of high school. And it's not the funniest joke, but I get why he did it. I think he did it to let it know, like, hey, I'm willing to talk about my family, to like get into talk about other people's family stuff a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Kind of like just taking it back a layer, like, hey, look, here's a little into this, to like go after the Smiths a little bit. So that's the train of thought that's what I forgot to say before, which would have made sense more in the flow. But before,
we'll fix it in post. We'll fix it in post.
It'll
be seamless.
Great.
Thank you guys for all the super chats. But Karl, where can people find you, buddy?
Whoarethese.com is our website, and that's where you can get links to all the things that we do, and we also post all of our episodes up there. But anywhere you get podcasts, you can find Who Are These Podcasts. I also do a show called The Creep Off. We do that every Monday at 1 in the afternoon on The Creep Off's YouTube channel. It's also a podcast. You can find it in podcast form. And I just started the show with my buddy Blind Mike Geary, and we do Who Are These Socials, WATS, Thursdays at 6 p.m. on YouTube, and that's also available in its own podcasting feed. Who Are These Socials? And that's a fun one where I mostly watch girls who have Tourette's who are hot, TikTok. But we also break down a lot of other social media trends and videos and posts and things like that. So always fun doing it.
By the way, is Blind Mike actually blind?
He is, yes.
You know what? I mean, that's not hilarious, but Gas Digital, they have a blind Mike too.
A blind Mike also,
who is also blind. He's a sweet kid, but he's blind. And
so Blind Mike used to work for Barstool, and he still works on the Kirk Minahan show. He's on there twice a week. And there's a video you can find on the internet that's very funny. Dave Portnoy was like, I don't know how blind this guy actually is, so I'm going to challenge him to ping pong. So there's a video of Dave Portnoy playing Blind Mike in ping pong, and it's just Dave serving it. It just hits Mike in the chest. He's just like, he's like, I'm trying to go by sonar here. I'm sorry, we're having a hard time. It's very funny.
All I know about comedy and podcasting, don't name your son Mike. There's a chance he could go blind. Too many mics. We're out. That's our heart out. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks for having me, buddy. Whoarethese.com.